So in the previous video, which I kind of did as a response, to what Chris Johnson said in response to one of our fellow fans of Sonic Sat AM and everything, that Zara Nizarek, Sean McLean of the Multimedia Chronicles and Z-Rant showed during his Z-Rant video on the situation. At the end of that video, I mentioned the fact that, hey, we are now in an era where 4K is becoming the more dominant physical media for movies and shows to be released on. And I mentioned there that basically, you could do what if you're a discotheque, could do what you're doing with Blu-ray when it comes to SD with 4K, and it would be even better. And why do I say that? Because basically, one of the things that Zara Nizarek, brought up was the fact that, the codec is better, with a Blu-ray. The AVC is a better picture quality. The bit rate is up, but is up in a big way and thus helps the picture quality and sound quality be up. And also the main thing is it has, depending on the kind of Blu-ray you use, with a single layer or dual layer, has more storage, capacity-wise. Single layer has 25 GBs, dual layer has 50. And then that got me thinking, and then like I said, at the end, and as I mentioned at the end of the video, I said that we are now in that era to where you could actually do this with 4K. You could actually do this with 4K. And I showed in the video basically some physical, some DVD sets that I have that if Hasbro wanted to, they could have someone like Discotech or Shout Factory go the SD on BD route, and you could see maybe a 3 to 4 disc release of Transformers Generation 1, the fourth disc maybe being full of bonus features, as well as they could do a 2 disc, if not 3 disc release of Gem and the holograms, with the third disc being full of bonus features. Same with Mask, same with G.I. Joe G1, same, the same with, I think, even My Little Pony G1. You could do that. You could do that. And then speaking of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, the Generation 4 one, you could have that, on basically, I'm assuming you could do like maybe, because I think each DVD set has 2 to 3 DVDs. You could actually put that all on a set of maybe 4 Blu-rays, 4 or 5 Blu-rays, because of the capacity storage that Blu-ray holds. But when it comes to 4K, you could take that up even, you could take that up even, to another notch, if you will. That's what I was trying to say. You could take that up a notch, if you will. You could take that up a notch. And what I mean by that is 4K holds more. I think they hold maybe twice or 3 times. You have to correct me on this. I think they hold twice or 3 times the capacity, storage-wise, that a regular Blu-ray does. They have twice or 3 times the codec, twice or 3 times the AVC picture quality and bit rate. They have basically, they're kind of like the PS5. The PS5 basically has more power, capacity, bit capacity, and and all that, software and everything. It has more power to where, and I've even shown this with the game footage I've used. It makes even your PS4 games, as some people have said, look really good because of the bit rate, because of the picture, because of the, I wouldn't say bit rate, but because of the power, the software, the SSD stuff and everything that's being utilized, along with the laser tracer to make that look, better than it was and smoother, more playable. But the point I'm getting at is with 4K, you could do that as well. I mean, why do you think a lot of studios, when they release a movie onto DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K, why do they always tout 4K more so than anything else? Because they know people are going to get a better picture. People are going to get, a smoother picture, a better picture, high quality, something that's close to what they would see in theaters. And here's the thing, the same does not apply with SD, no. But it does apply similar to what Blu-ray does with it because of its bit rate and its codec. So if it has more power, codec-wise and bit rate-wise and all that, than its predecessor, Blu-ray, then why not consider going in that direction, in the near future? And I think that's a direction a lot of places are going to go. Discotheque, Warner Brothers, Disney, Universal, some people like Shout Factory maybe, and in the subdivisions like Scream Factory and such. I think that's a direction they're going to go. They're going to go in that direction. Funimation, I think, is going to go in that direction. I mean, Funimation basically remastered the original anime Ghost in the Shell not that long ago, and they put that on 4K, and it looks good. It really does. So to me, it's not, and they did the same with Akira. The studio behind Akira did the same thing, and it looks good. The point I'm getting at, is, even though it wouldn't truly remaster the video, what Blu-ray is doing for SD, as is, it could do just as well, if not more so, with 4K. Because again, you'd have a higher bit rate, a higher codec, a higher AVC or whatever it is. You'd have basically twice or three times the power, of a regular Blu-ray and more storage, that you could take something like Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, which is 65 episodes, and plaster that, bonus features and all, onto 4K on a single disc. You could do that. The same with Sonic X, Japanese and English dub. You could do that. You could plaster that on to a single disc or even a 2-disc set. One where you have, because basically think about that. You could do a 2-disc set. One set is the English dub, the other set is the Japanese. And you could sell that as a, you could sell that as a special edition to where not only are they getting the episodes on 4K, you're getting all 78 English episodes on one disc and all 78 original uncut Japanese episodes on the other. And if you want to include them, but you could put bonus features in there as well. You could do that. So to me, basically, 4K I think could be a decent step up, for people like Discotheque and others that are going and utilizing that SD, or going and utilizing, I should say, the SD on BD process, or going in the direction of releasing shows on SD on BD. The same with, like I say, some of the major studios that are doing it, like Warner Brothers and Disney. Yes, they own the film prints, the master prints, if you will. But think about them. But think about how much more easier, and if not, believe it or not, affordable financially it would be to put Rescue Rangers, to put DuckTales, the original DuckTales, and and the original Tiny Toon Adventures, and the original Animaniacs, the original Batman. Imagine how much more easier it would be to take what you've already remastered for Blu-ray and put it onto 4K and use less disc. I mean, imagine that. I mean, you don't think they were happy with the fact that they were using less disc for the Blu-ray releases of Batman, the animated series, and Superman, the animated series? You don't think they were elated to go in that, to hear that, hey, we're going to let you do this, and it'll be much more easier and affordable for you guys to do? Of course they were. Do you think people at Disney, when they heard, hey, we're going to put Rescue Rangers on Blu-ray and all that, and even though they own the film prints, do you not think they were elated at the fact that, oh, good, we only have to do a certain amount of discs, then like maybe two or three a volume? They just have one release they could do. They don't have to worry about, okay, we got to do this many discs for this volume, this many discs for that volume, stuff like that. Do you not think they were elated? Of course they were. Even Universal, with whatever film prints animation-wise they still have left after that fire from many years ago, you do not think that with those film prints they still have salvage that, or whatever film prints from whatever properties and licenses they bought, you do not think they're considering, hey, let's put this on Blu-ray, make it a lot easier, afford, and it'll be a lot more cheaper to do because we don't have to spend too much money on additional regular discs, DVD discs to manufacture. You don't think they realize? You don't think they're considering that or have thought about that? Of course they have. And now that we're in the age of 4K, you don't think they haven't thought, hey, 4K could be a logical next step to do the same thing? Again, not have to use that many discs. And oh, by the way, it's a lot more cheaper and affordable. Of course they've thought about that. Every studio, every distributing, physical media studio out there, from Disney to Warner Brothers to Universal to, to even, like I said, people like Discotech, and I wouldn't be surprised, Shout Factory as well, through the subsidiaries, Screen Factory and all. You know, I would not, I would not, I would not even, what's the word I'm looking for? I would not even be shocked or surprised that they're considering going that next step and going the 4K route. I would not be, because you know why? It's the most logical next step. I mean, here's the thing. When DVD came around and people saw the fact that, okay, we could put a complete series on DVD, it's going to take a multitude of discs to do so, though, and a multitude of volumes, they're like, okay, that's fine, that's good, and, compact disc, optical disc is a lot cheaper to go with, right, than regular VHS tape. So, so they were happy when that happened. But you can't tell me when Blu-ray got released, they didn't see the possibilities of, hey, this has got bigger storage, the bit rate's a lot higher, picture and sound quality wise. The codec is a lot higher. We're not using MPEG-2 anymore. We're using AVC, something close to theaters, or something close to what the theaters use. You don't think they didn't see the possibilities, of that, being a direction to go in eventually, to where they could put, a series, a complete series on just, maybe a few optical discs and not many? You don't think they didn't see the advantage of that? Of course they did. And they see it now with 4K. They see it now with 4K, like, man, 4K can hold a lot more than Blu-ray. Maybe we should consider that. And I would not be surprised if in the near future you have someone like Discotech or Shout Factory come out, because you got to start small before you go big, because you can't tell me a lot of these major studios that are going the SD on Blu-ray route, didn't see what Discotech, was doing, or others like them were doing. Of course they did. And they said, hey, we own the film prints. Let's do it as well. If not, let's do it as well as remaster those episodes, or clean them up a little bit to make them look better. You can't tell me they didn't take notice and that inspired them to do what they did. Because in my opinion, they did notice, and that's the truth. So, I would not be surprised that in the future, just like, Discotech and Shout Factory, or the likes of a Discotech and a Shout Factory started going in this direction, mostly Discotech, you can't tell me that they won't come out and announce eventually in the future, hey, we're going to take it up a notch, and we're going to go, we're going to introduce a new division called SD on 4K. You can't tell me that won't happen, because it will. And I would guarantee, I wouldn't bet money, but I would guarantee that sometime next year, during one of their annual announcements, one of their teasers or whatever they call it, I would not be surprised if they make an announcement, in that they're creating a new SD on 4K division. I would not be surprised. But yeah, I think we are in that age now. We are in the age of SD being put on 4K, just like it's been put on Blu-ray. But what are your thoughts? Let me know down below in the comments, as well as in the live chat during the premiere. And I will talk to you later. God bless. Take care.